Level 1, the landsman. You're 19. Nobody welcomes you aboard. The ship swallows you. A clerk you never meet writes your name in the muster book, and the name stops being yours. In your pocket rides your father's clasp knife. The last of home. The boatswain's mate takes it before you reach the ladder, snaps the tip square off against the capstan, and hands it back. Points are forbidden below decks. A blade aboard is a tool, and the Navy files every man down to the tool it needs. You are rated landsman, the bottom rung of the bottom rung, wage under £1 a month, and not a coin of it paid until the ship pays off, whenever that is, wherever that is. The world below is 130 feet long and holds more than 300 men. Your hammock is allotted 14 inches of air between two strangers. Up at 4 to holystone the deck on your knees until the wood goes pale. 150 lines to learn by feel before dark, and a starter across your shoulders when you haul the wrong one. Salt pork tapped on the table edge to evict the weevils. 4 hours on, 4 off, and the off is never truly off. The first night, the man beside you snores 6 inches from your face while boots cross the quarterdeck overhead. Unhurried, owning everything. You lie in the dark holding the broken knife and you understand the shape of this place. Everything above you is rank. Everything below you is water. There is exactly one direction that is not drowning, and in the morning they start teaching you to climb it. Level 2, the ordinary seaman. You're 20 when the rating comes, quietly, a line in a book you will never read. 19 shillings a month on paper, and the paper is the joke, because the pay runs 8 months in arrears, which means your mother ashore is owed a winter you cannot send her. But something is happening to your hands. The first time you lay out on the topsail yard in a blow and your fingers do the work without asking your head, something in you stands up straight for the first time in your life. Then a Thursday, all hands aft to witness punishment. A man from the afterguard, asleep on watch, a dozen lashes. You count them, because counting is the only thing you are permitted to do. The cat makes a sound you will never find a word for. And every Sunday the captain reads the articles of war over your bare head, article after article closing on the same 4 words: shall suffer death, shall suffer death. The ship is a village that reads its gallows aloud once a month and sails on. The older men say 2 more years and the ship will call you able. They say the word like it costs something. It does. Level 3, the able seaman. You're 22. Hand, reef, and steer. That is the whole examination. And your body passes it before your mouth is asked a question. 24 shillings a month now, and the arrears have stretched to 11, which is a year of your mother's rent existing only as ink. Tansy, the quartermaster, 30 years in, winds a length of waxed twine around his little finger while he talks. Always the same finger. Always the same twine. He puts you on the wheel in weather and stands behind you saying nothing until nothing is exactly what you need. Once, only once, he gives you a law. A grievance is a rope. Mind which end you hold. Off Ushant you hold her through a 4-hour gale, and when you're relieved your arms shake like a boy's, but the ship is where you kept her. Your hands at 22 already look like your father's at 50. That is the trade, and you'd sign it again. Below though, after lights out, you can hear men on the gun deck doing arithmetic in the dark. Level 4, the discontented. You're 23. No list carries this rating, but every man aboard knows exactly who holds it. The arithmetic goes like this. The purser's pound weighs 14 ounces. The beef is 2 years in the cask and rings like wood. The water in the butt is green. A new captain comes aboard and orders 4 floggings in 6 weeks, one of them for a dirty jacket, then your own back. At divisions, an officer reads your face and names what he finds there, silent contempt. And you take a dozen at the gangway with your wrists seized above your head. The pain is not the lesson. The lesson is that your face is no longer yours either, that the muster book took your name and the gangway just took your expression. Tansy's twine winds tighter these days and he talks less. Nobody plans a mutiny. A ship accumulates 1 ounce by missing ounce, until the weight moves on its own. On Sunday, after the articles, a paper will move through the lower deck, folded small, traveling hand to hand, below the waterline of the officer's attention. Level 5, the oath taker. Still 23. The paper is a round robin, every name signed in a wheel so that no name stands first and no single neck stands out. Crow, a gunner's mate, taps the table twice before he speaks, every time, like knocking at a door only he can hear. He has a law of his own and he says it with his whole chest. Nobody hangs for what a whole ship decides. You will remember later that he believed it. You signed because of 14 ounces. You signed because of 11 months. You signed because of the dozen you took for the crime of a face. By 8 bells there are 90 names in the wheel, and the lantern light makes every one of them look older than the man who wrote it. The ink dries in seconds. What it binds does not. The old hands say level 6 is where most mutinies die, informed on and hanged in advance, and yours very nearly dies there too. 3 bells, the middle watch, tomorrow. Level 6, the mutineer. 3 bells and you come up the after hatchway with your heart so loud you're sure it counts as noise. It nearly ended at 2 bells. A frightened boy ran to the master-at-arms, and the master-at-arms, running arithmetic of his own, chose to stay asleep. The quarterdeck changes hands in 11 minutes. 11 minutes to overturn 100 Sundays of shall suffer death. Then the rail. Mr. Vane, the 3rd lieutenant, the only officer who ever said your name as if it belonged to a man, kneels there with a musket at his ear, and the sailor holding it looks at you. Because tonight, somehow, you are a man whose look matters. You say the boat. The ship exhales. The officers go down into the launch with a compass, a cask of water, and their lives, and you watch the sail shrink until the sea closes its hand around it. The ship is yours. That is the rise. Here is the fall arriving in the same breath. The entire ocean has just become a courtroom, and every sail on every horizon is now the law coming back. Level 7, the elected. You're 24. The ship votes because a mutiny out of principle must run on principle or admit what it is. 12 delegates, your name among them, and they hand you the muster book to keep so that you now carry the very ledger your name once disappeared into. A red flag climbs to the fore. You cut rations to 2/3 allowance and men obey you, step aside for you at the hatchways, bring you their disputes, and your life narrows to a blade's width. There is a price ashore. £30 for your name, which is 2 years of the pay they never gave you, now offered for your neck instead. Every sail on the horizon gets counted twice. Every jolly boat that goes for water might come back heavier by one informer. Tansy refuses a seat on the committee and won't say why, just winds the twine down to the knuckle and watches the shore. Power on a mutiny ship is a loan from frightened men, and the interest compounds nightly. Then one morning the frigate on the horizon does not tack away. Level 8, the hunted. You're 25. It ends the way these things end, not in a battle but in a dwindling. The ship run in under a foreign headland, and 90 names going over the side into the dark in 1s and 2s. You carry ashore the clothes on your back and a knife with a square broken tip. You unlearn your walk. You unlearn your songs. You unlearn the sea and take cart work, mill work, anything inland, anything without salt in it. Word still finds you the way water finds a seam. Crow taken at deal with his sea chest still corded. 2 topmen from your old watch taken outside Portsmouth. No goodbyes, just men subtracted. Their names chalked off a board you can't see. You have not spoken your own name aloud in over a year, and some nights you whisper it just to keep the fit. Every hunted man is caught by something small. You already own yours. It rides in your pocket. Level 9, the condemned. You're 26 in a Rivertown tavern, and you pay for bread with your knife lying on the table, and a man you once stood watches with looks at the square broken tip a moment too long. The Marines come before dawn. Aboard the flagship, a yellow flag goes up, and 13 post captains sit in a line with your life on the green bays between them. Mr. Vane, older now, gives his evidence and adds 5 words nobody asked him for. He was a good seaman. It is the truest thing said all day, and it changes nothing, because the article they read was read over your head 60 Sundays running, and you always knew its last 4 words. So here is the whole ledger once. The Navy shorted you 2 ounces in every pound and 11 months in every year. And you took 1 ship and held her for 11 weeks, and the price was your name, your mother's window, and your neck. At 8 in the morning a gun fires, and men you never met haul away on a rope at the foreyard arm. That same morning down the anchorage, a tender comes alongside another ship, and a boy of 19 climbs aboard with his father's knife in his pocket. He thinks the worst thing the Navy will take from him is the tip of a blade. He does not know it prices the whole man, and pays in arrears, and keeps the difference. The boatswain's mate snaps the point off and hands it back. The boy pockets it, grateful. The gun fires at 8. He doesn't even look up.